Holy shit. We're getting this thing. What a crazy item. Wait, who's that? Wait, no, please, no! This league will be Spectre League. Yo, let's talk about the Wraithlord. Not that one powerful minion, but the helmet. They gave this thing an insane buff. We now get +2 to all minion gems instead of just socketed gems. We also get 1 additional Spectre per socketed Ghastly Eye Jewel, meaning we can get up to 9 Spectres, which is pretty damn good. You might think that having no normal gem sockets is bad, but when using this item, you're not allowed any other minions, so there's not a huge amount of socket pressure when playing with this item. I think this item is best in slot when it comes to playing damage specters, probably even beating very powerful mirror helmets. This also relieves some Abyss Jewel pressure when using the Adorned. The Adorned cares about magic corrupted jewels, but you generally also want some ailment avoidance or things like Taunt and Blind on your Ghastly Eye Jewels, as these can be significant upgrades to your build. These jewels would generally be of rare quality instead of magic, so now we can socket those in our helmet and perhaps our Darkness Enthroned, meaning we can slot more corrupted magic jewels in our passive tree to get the maximum benefit of the Adorned. This many Abyss slots also means we can cap out the damage over time multiplier on a Madam case quite quickly. Getting this many additional Spectres does mean that a +1 Spectre chest is probably not that great anymore. Going from 8 to 9 Spectres is only a 12.5% increase in base power, if you were using 9 of the same Spectres, and even going from 7 to 8 is only just over a 14% increase. I generally think that something like a Covenant or a Replica Covenant would be better options in most cases. There might be cases where getting an additional buff or debuff Spectre might be a good option. With Affliction not going core, however, there's only a small chance we will still be getting the very powerful Aura Spectres. I don't think the other support Spectres will be quite strong enough, maybe in some specific cases. The Wraithlord Helmet is now gonna be a T0 unique and drops from a T17 map boss, meaning it can be target farmed but might still be expensive if popular enough. Next up, we have the Ascendancy Changes to Necromancer. Mindless Aggression is being changed to grant 10% more damage and 20% more life to minions. This is a really good change and helps with survivability. Now, the new Bone Barrier node is cracked. Damage dealt by your minions is leached to you as life. This is an insane mod. We can find a similar mod on the Baron Helmet, but it only applies to zombies in that case. This node should make you reach leech cap once you have enough damage with your Spectres or minions. Base values for leech cap are 20% of maximum life per second or 10% of maximum energy shield per second. This leech does benefit from Vile Pact and the Ghost Reaver keystones. There's no additional benefit in tanking both, however. Petrified Blood will also be far more interesting for minion builds. It will also make this shield more interesting. Another interesting synergy is the red dual tech, Blood Notch and Immutable Force. Do note, however, that the Energy Shield Mastery, which bases stun threshold on Energy Shield, has been changed completely, so we would need something like a Valerium if we wanted to run the red dual tech successfully. The Unholy Might change is quite nice as well, now converting 100% of physical to chaos and 25% chance to inflict withered. We can grant our minions Unholy Might easily through the Ascendancy node. It should feel a lot better now for minions that use physical damage to poison, as their base hit damage now turns to chaos, meaning it now also benefits from the increased chaos damage taken withered provides. This change also means a trigger wand can be used in more cases, as Severed in Sleep is not quite as strong anymore. So, which Spectres are gonna be good with all of these changes? Well, there are some usual suspects, such as the Primal Crushclaw. The famous Crab has always been quite powerful and should perform decently well. The only worry I have with these is that they are quite large, and having 8 of these might mean they actually block each other from attacking the same target. You could instead opt to run Redemption Knights and use 1 Crushclaw for the cold damage taken debuff. Redemption Knights have a tinier model and them blocking each other should be less of an issue. Another usual suspect is the Hyrri Swatch. These are the strongest cold ranged option out there. They should feel really good when clearing, especially with 8 of these. Their damage should be okay on bosses, but don't expect huge amounts of DPS. You would also need to gem swap if you want them to perform optimally. With the changes to Unholy Might and the Wraithlord, Poison is also gonna be a good option. There's a couple of Spectres that I like when it comes to Poison. First up is the 2 gas Spectres, the Wild Homunculus and the Violator. These are pretty even when it comes to power, the Violator having a dash and a bit more potent melee attack, while the Wild Homunculus seems to have a faster hitting gas cloud. The downside of these two is that they will only use their gas cloud when reduced to below 75% life. You could use an Umbilicus Immortalis with a coruscating elixir to do this, and then swap to your main belt. This is quite a clunky mechanic however. They will need chance to poison from Ghastly Eye Jewels, as they do not have innate poison chance. Another one is the Bramble Cobra. This is probably your best bet if you want a ranged poison spectre. It has innate 100% chance to poison and decent base damage. Do note that you want to get the Bramble Cobra specifically from the Wetlands in Act 2, as there is multiple versions and Wetlands is the only area that houses exclusively the strong version. The downside of this spectre is that they have a very low health pool. The last one is the Deadly Tarantula. This is my personal favorite and I am probably gonna run these. They flicker into packs, which combined with melee splash provides significant clear. They use the Viper Strike, which poisons innately and has a 4-second base duration. The downside of these is that they sometimes use their normal basic attack, which is just default physical damage with no added benefits. I would suggest still capping poison chance with Ghastly Eye Jewels to overcome this, and also to make the Flicker Strike inflict poison. Another downside is that these only exist in a few areas, Arachnid Nest or Jungle Valley boss rooms to name two. They also do not show up in your Desecrate pool, so having these die is annoying. I will add additional information on all of these in the description. So how will Spectres feel overall? I think they will be quite a bit stronger, much closer to other minions. I don't think they will be crazy overpowered however. Perhaps some of the new Embers or mobs in T17 maps could reveal some new or reworked monsters that make for good Spectres. This Scorpion shooting the green projectiles looks pretty cool for example. The mobs that use the small saw blades could also be cool. There's also the big giants that use a blood skill and the monster version of Brutus. These seem a bit slower however, which is generally not what you want for Spectres. Yep.